Welcome to Build Your Foundations, our weekly dive into a topic regarding divorce, mediation, finance, or mental health. So, for today, as we wrap up our Types of Divorce series within the Basics of Divorce, we will discuss alternative dispute resolutions and pro se divorce as an option to hiring attorneys and fighting your way in a courtroom and out of your marriage. In the state of Washington, you have 11 months to complete some form of alternative dispute resolution or ADR. There are two styles of alternative dispute resolutions, non-adversarial and more adversarial. Let's review these two styles, starting with the non-adversarial. In the non-adversarial column, there are several different ways, some of which you may have heard of. One would be the standard negotiation. In some states, they actually call this the kitchen table divorce. In a kitchen table divorce, a couple basically sits together and works out their divorce on their own terms and taking full control and full agency of the decisions being made for their futures as individuals and also as a family. Another non-adversarial method of ADR is mediation. Mediation is where the couple meets with an impartial third party to help them communicate, negotiate, and in terms of a divorce, your mediator may have a list of discussion points for you and your soon-to-be ex to review and make decisions on. And these decisions may not be something that you even thought about at that kitchen table. Most mediators practice what is called facilitative mediation. In this type of mediation, the mediator helps the couple communicate and come up with options and agreements which work to serve as the foundation of their divorce. Facilitative mediation may be viewed as the kitchen table divorce plus. With the help of a mediator, the couple, who would most likely be amicably divorcing as much as possible, can negotiate some difficult points which they may not have been able to if it was just the two of them sitting at the kitchen table. In some instances, the mediator may practice what is called shuttle mediation and keep the couple in separate rooms and shuttle from room to room. The mediator will bring up the requests and the points of one spouse to the other spouse. In these sessions, the spouses can speak freely without having to temper their words or requests, as it is the job of the mediator to effectively communicate their requests on behalf of one spouse to the other, and to reach as many agreements as possible. With the mediator, the couple still has full control over the decisions and can negotiate decisions which may work better for them and may have more agreements made, as the mediator, as mentioned earlier, can bring up items the couple did not consider while at the kitchen table. For now, let's discuss a more adversarial ADR. So going from the kitchen table and moving closer to the courtroom in cases where the communication is no longer effective and agreements are definitely no longer agreed upon, a couple may utilize several different methods. One method is called mediation arbitration. This is a hybrid of the mediation process with a neutral and impartial third party who will help them to facilitate the communications and the agreements. But once the negotiation is no longer possible or effective, the facilitator now issues a binding decision based on the evidence and the testimony provided by the spouses. In this scenario, the couple loses some of the decision-making power and essentially hands it over to someone else for the final decision, which will affect their family for generations. Another method of a more adversarial ADR is straight arbitration. Arbitration is essentially where there are one or more neutral and impartial parties who review the information provided by both parties and make the decision for the couple. These decisions may be binding or non-binding. If the decisions are binding, the couple basically gave up their power to choose what is best for themselves and their family and handed it over to a group of strangers to do what seems best for them. Pro se divorce. If you consider which type of divorce is best for you, your family, and your futures, remember that the more adversarial the process gets, the less control you have over your decisions. Sitting at the kitchen table and working out the details of how you and your soon-to-be ex-spouse wants to move forward in your life separately as individuals, this essentially is the pro se divorce. Pro se in Latin means for himself, the do-it-yourselfer. In a pro se divorce, you and your soon-to-be ex can fill out all the court forms and file without the help of anyone else. Many courthouses have people who will help you figure out which forms need to be filed to process your divorce. If these steps are overwhelming, which, let's be honest, it can be, especially when you're in the middle of a divorce, you can also do a hybrid of some sort and hire an attorney or paralegal to help draw up the documents and file on your behalf. As mentioned earlier in the series, to hire two separate attorneys on retainer can be very costly. But once you and your spouse have come up with decisions, you can work with a consulting attorney to do the legal legwork for you of navigating the court systems and filing all of the paperwork and to file them correctly. If you are considering separation or divorce, or have any questions on the types of divorce or any of the topics that we've spoken about today or in the past, please reach out to us at Foundations Divorce Solutions and schedule a free consultation. We would love to connect with you. Our link and contact info are in the bio. Even if you're not in the state of Washington or in the Seattle area, please contact us. We work with colleagues across the US who may be able to help you. Also, please post or tag someone if this speaks to you personally or if it may benefit someone else. And lastly, if there's a topic that you would like to discuss on a future episode, please DM us. Thanks so much. See you next week.